Good morning. We join with other UUs in the tradition of striking the gong 3 times, once in memory of those who have lived, built, and nurtured this congregation, once in honor of those calling us home here today, and once for those of the future. Good morning on this Sunday, October the 6th, 2024. My name is Larry High, and I'm your service leader for today. We welcome you to this wonderful Umpqua Unitarian Church of Roseburg. In our congregation, you can be yourself, but not by yourself. Whomever you are, whoever you love, however you describe yourself or name the holy, you're welcomed here. We especially welcome those who are visiting for the first time, those recently new to us and returning again. We are so glad that you are here with us today. Please stay after service for coffee, tea, conversation,
and fruit,
and munchies and fruit, so we can all get to know each other better. Much appreciation goes to our greeters, music provider Sean Shea, our media director Jack Trainer, and church administrator Genevieve Gonzalez. I was asked to make a reminder about the Judy Fell concert Saturday, October the 3rd. You can see, the 19th at 3 p.m. That's where the 3rd came from. Okay. I'm also informed that the Positive Open Mic is on the 3rd Wednesday and not the 2nd. This month, right. And I believe Reverend Donna, I call her Reverend Donna, would like to share something with you.
Thank you, Larry. You can call me anything you want. Okay. Our beloved Melanie Hill made her transition on October 1st, and I would like to just take a moment of silence so that we can all speak to her from our hearts. So Melanie, we miss you, we love you, especially your vibrancy and that feistiness to live life fully. And we see you on a journey that is filled with the same thing. I can just see that in my mind. So we will see you soon, Melanie. Bye.
We move now in compassion for those in need who are hungry, ill, and without shelter. Our congregation's service to the larger Roseburg community is to elect your contributions of food or money. This support of the Fish Pantry is a combined effort of several Roseburg churches. Our church offertory is later in the service. Thank you. Your gifts will help others. We'd also like to welcome our live streaming audience watching from home. And now our chalice lighting words are from the UUA website. the flame of truth, the fire of purification, oil for anointing, healing. Out of chaos, fear, and horror, thus was the symbol crafted a generation ago. So may it be with us in these days of uncertainty, sorrow, and rage, and a light to warm our souls and guide us home, the flame of truth. Our opening words today are from Pema Chodron. Finding the courage to go to the places that scare us cannot happen without compassionate inquiry into the workings of ego. Openness does not come from resisting our fears, but from getting to know them. Pema Chodron. It doesn't appear as though we have any children today.
Larry, I was just realizing that we didn't do our opening song. Didn't realize that was supposed to happen before the gong. What do you think about that?
Would you like to do the opening song now? Sure. And I apologize.
No worries. This is a beautiful song by an artist named Kirtana. That's all I know about her, but it's just very deeply moving. Just because the tracks are late, or just because your ticket's paid for, and some crazed conductor keeps on calling out your name, you don't have to board the train. No, you don't need to board the train. Trains of thought will come and go, but you are not your thoughts, you know. So why get all caught up in where they lead? You are who these thoughts are passing through. Don't you see? You are who these thoughts are passing through. Be free. Be free. Even when you're feeling frightened, sad or hurt or unenlightened, you can find a peace that underlies what passes by. Don't mistake the weather for the sky of your being. Don't mistake the weather for the sky. Feelings rise then fall away, even those you wish would stay. So why get all caught up in where they lead? You are who emotion passes through. Don't you see? You are who emotion passes through. Be free. Sing with me. Be free. What a blessing to have taken birth in this human form, with a chance to see that who we are never born is always free and never die. If destiny decides to strike a version of a script you like and make a melodrama of your endless cabaret, you know you can still enjoy the play. Yes, you can, if you're still and you know how to play. Just treat it like a mystery and view it from the balcony. Laugh and cry and stomp your feet, but don't believe a thing. You are who these scenes are passing through. Don't you see? You are who this play is passing through. Be free.
Well, Sean, you might as well stay put because we're going to our hymn number 1, Answering the Call for Love.
Okay. This one is actually, I think we have a video of it, and it is, I believe it's in your hymnal. But it might have different titles. The original title of this song was, what was it called? The one you asked for. That one, yeah. Anyway, the songwriter said, you know what? Oh, I know, Standing on the Side of Love, which we talk about. And now we say stand with love. But he was thinking, there's some people who can't stand physically. So he's changed it to Answering the Call of Love. And it's even more inclusive because I think it embraces more issues and things. All right, so, Jake, thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4. The promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love abide. And so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is our guide. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together, as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. And sometimes we build a barrier to keep love tightly bound, corrupted by fear, unwilling to hear, denying the beauty we found. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering
free, answering the call of love. Can't beat it. Now is the time in our service when we remember our joys and concerns with silent or spoken candle lighting regarding the significant milestones in our lives. I invite those who wish to light a candle, silent or spoken, to please form a line to my right. For those with spoken candles, give your name and please be brief. The offering is a sacrament of the Free Church. We are supported by the voluntary generosity of all who join us. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of our shared hopes and values. For the gifts we have received, may we be truly grateful. May we be committed to using these gifts to make a difference in the world and to expand our beloved community. We will now do From You I Receive.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
And now our anthem from Sean, Show Me Your Love.
I love how you say that, Larry. No matter what happens, if the world falls apart, show me your purpose, show me your heart. Even if chaos and evil abound, show me your anchor, show me your ground. Show me your love, show me your blessings, show me your truth with a light from above. Show me your mercy, show me your love. If life is bitter, full of poison and snakes, show me your garden, show me your grace. If there is hunger and war and disease, show me your comfort, show me your peace. Show me your love, show me your blessings, show me your truth with a light from above. Show me your mercy, show me your love. If there are troubles and trials and strife, show me your refuge, show me your life. If the sun and the moon disappear in the night, show me your beacon, show me your light. Show me your love, show me your blessings, show me your truth with a light from above. Show me your mercy, show me your love. If I'm speechless, your secrets to tell, show me your fountain, show me your well. Now I'll keep silent. How can I express your life when I'm lost in lifelessness? Show me your love, show me your blessings, show me your truth with a light from above. Show me your mercy, show me your love. Show me your love. Show me your love. Show me your love. Thank you.
Show me your love. I would like to introduce today's speaker, Donna Smith. I often call her Reverend. She is a Unity Worldwide Ministry spiritual leader whose training focused on pastoral care. She is most happy when she can help others find peace and joy in their lives. She is also a Unity chaplain, a Taizé prayer leader and trainer, a Reiki master and practitioner, nonviolent communication teacher, a student and teacher of A Course in Miracles, a teacher of the Way of Mastery, and is active in Our Cares and Concerns ministry. Please welcome Donna Smith. Get out of your way here.
Hello. Yes, wow. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you and your beautiful, lovely faces. Sean, the music was right on. And if you can remember the words, you will see when I give you this sermon that they fit in perfectly. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you. So the last time I was here, I shared with you that our fears have messages for us. And I was sharing with you some of the teachings from Dennis Merritt Jones. Whoops, wrong book. This book. When Fear Speaks, Listen. And the main point was that when we stop to listen to our fears, we may learn something about ourselves. And ultimately, find the way to release these fears. Now, we may find the way to move into our wisdom and not let those fears control our lives if we pay attention to those fears. Now, you may be wondering, why am I speaking about fear again? The reason is that I am seeing a great deal more fear because of this presidential election coming up. I am hearing more fearful conversations and seeing people who are so steeped in fear about this election that that's all they can talk about. So I want to address how we can move through this time without letting fear have its way with us. The scariest thing to me is that fear is having its way with so many people and they don't even know it. That to me should scare us. Now I turn to Pema Chodron's book, The Places That Scare You, A Guide to Fearlessness in Difficult Times. I highly recommend both of these books because they are wonderful books to help us move through fears, because I think all of us really do not want to live in fear all the time. So as Pema encourages us by her words, she says we can let the circumstances of our lives harden us so that we become increasingly resentful and afraid. Or we can let them soften us and make us kinder and move open and more open to what scares us. She says we always have a choice. Yes. Through her Buddhist teachings, she guides us to find our bodhicitta, which is what heals and is capable of transforming the hardest of hearts and the most prejudiced and fearful minds. Now, citta means mind, heart, or attitude. Bodhi means awake, enlightened, or completely open. Bodhicitta is also equated in part with compassion, our ability to feel the pain of others. So without realizing it, we continually shield ourselves from this pain because it scares us. We put up our protective walls and we make our opinions and our prejudices and our strategies, don't we? We build these barriers because we are afraid. And then these walls are further fortified by emotions of all kinds: anger, resentments, indifference, jealousy, envy, arrogance. And the list goes on, doesn't it? And it seems so overwhelming and complicated, doesn't it? Yes. Well, Dennis Jones wrote that there are only two basic fears. And I think that might help us put this into some kind of perspective. It's the fear of dying and the fear of loss. Everything else that we put another label on in the fear category comes from one of these basic fears. And our ego, which is another name for fear, continually steers us toward shielding ourselves by justifying division and negative emotions and justifying building up those walls. So this is why Pema asks us to be very aware of our ego. Doesn't mean it's going to just go away. It can, but probably not for a while. But when we get to understand our ego, then it brings back some of our power, and we can deal with it in a more compassionate way. Now, you may say that this is all good for those enlightened beings practicing their spiritual ways, living in communes where they're all safe. But I'm living in this scary world and not seeing very many enlightened beings. And I need to protect myself, my family, and my friends. Understandably so. Remember, we talked about a very powerful teaching before. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. I would really invite you to take those words into meditation. They are so powerful. So I invite you to change the way you look at yourself. Most people in our world today would say that they are not enlightened. And they may work towards being enlightened through their meditations, studying, reading, practicing, and going through, into churches, spiritual groups, all of these things, trying to become enlightened. But guess what? We are trying very hard to become what we already are. We are already enlightened beings. That is our truth, and that is our only truth. The openness and the warmth of bodhicitta is in fact our true nature and condition. Even when our neurosis feels far more basic than our wisdom, even when we're feeling most confused and hopeless, your bodhicitta, like the open sky, is always here, undiminished by the clouds that temporarily cover it. Bodhicitta. So what if you began to look at yourself as an enlightened being? Can you do that? Does that scare you? So what a concept, huh? I'm an enlightened being. Well, if you do this, you will change, because what you are doing is then coming from your higher consciousness. You cannot ever lose your higher consciousness. You can only forget about it because you have been lured by the ego into thinking that you are a lesser being. You are a diamond in the rough. You may be covered by all of those things that scare you, but your true self is always here and always alive. When you change the way you look at yourself, it will automatically change the way you look at others and the way you look at the circumstances in your life. Now, your higher consciousness comes from wisdom and truth, and it presents solutions that is for the highest and best of all concerned, everyone. And isn't that what we really want? Don't we really want solutions that take care of everyone? We want peace and happiness for everyone. Deep in our hearts, we know that. And that feeling can get covered up when we get so enraged with what's going on. But deep down, it's always there. So in our toolbox of tools that will help us learn from and then release those scary fears, let's put number 1 as, I am an enlightened being filled with wisdom and love. I invite you to say that to yourself every time you can think of it, and at least once or twice or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 times a day, because that's what you are, and it will change you in a wonderful way. Now, another very high teaching that I have shared with you many times is that our thoughts and words and actions create our life experience. In Unity, we have a principle that says, thoughts held in mind create after their kind. Now, this seems pretty straightforward, doesn't it? So if you think happy things and you speak about happy times, then you're going to feel and experience happiness. If you think of what has been hurting you, then you're going to feel sadness. If you think about others who may have hurt you, then you may be feeling resentment, anger. It seems pretty straightforward. But we forget the power of our thoughts and words and our actions. All of these words, actions, and thoughts are creating your life. So I invite you to be very aware of what you're thinking, saying, and doing. Because all of these things not only affect your mind and your body, but they affect the people around you also. Now, the universe supports you every moment. We have free will, and the universe gives us exactly what we ask of it through those thoughts and words and actions. It does not discriminate on what you ask. It does not punish you either. We punish ourselves. And it gives you exactly what you ask for. So think about this. Deepak Chopra says that over 70% of our daily thoughts are negative. So that's a practice we could try thinking about your thoughts and keeping track of them and how many are negative. I don't even know how to do that. But somehow, and I've heard this before, not only from Deepak, 70% or more of our thoughts are negative. So what would happen if we change those negative thoughts to positive thoughts? Instead of thinking and talking about what we don't want, let us think and talk and take those actions that's going to support what we do want. Because if you're thinking about what you don't want, that's exactly what the universe will give you. So let's bring this home to the election. I'm going to have to say that over 70% of the people I have heard talking about the election are talking about how bad the other candidate is and complaining and fearing what will happen if that candidate is elected. The universe brings you whatever you are thinking and talking about. So do you see that by keeping that candidate that you do not want elected in your thoughts and words, that you are helping elect that very candidate? Think about that. It's true. So we really must understand how this works. Otherwise, we are creating a world that we don't want. So in our toolbox, let's put tool number 2. Think about, talk about, and make sure your actions support what you want. This is what Myrtle Fillmore, co-founder of the Unity Religions, meant when she wrote, "Whatever troubles may seem to arise, meet them with truth. Nothing can stand before it." So when the going gets tough, don't be swayed by external circumstances. This is a Buddhist mind training slogan. The most straightforward advice on awakening the bodhicitta within you is this: practice not causing harm to anyone, yourself or others, and every day do what you can to be helpful. Now, we may find that's not too easy. Before we know it, someone has provoked us, and either directly or indirectly, we have caused harm. Most of us could use some help, couldn't we? Yeah. We could use some fundamental instruction on how to lighten up and turn around our well-established habits of striking out and blaming. We only do those things because we see the circumstances as scary and have allowed these outer circumstances to bring out the fear in us. Fear is having its way with us. Pema has given us 4 methods for holding our seat, she calls it. I call it maintaining my center. You can call it anything you want. And providing support for developing the patience to stay open to what's happening instead of acting on automatic pilot, which so many of us do. I find myself doing that and think, wow, we do that. It's ingrained in us. And so we have to be aware in order to change those things. So let's put these in our toolbox as number 3. The 4 methods for mind training. She says, number 1, not setting up the target for the arrow. Connecting with the heart. Seeing obstacles as teachers and regard all that occurs as a dream. Interesting. Not setting up the target for the arrow. If we have not set up the target, it cannot be hit by an arrow. When we retaliate with aggressive words and actions, we are strengthening the habit of anger, and we become increasingly irritated by the reactions of others, do we not? It just gets escalated sometimes. And we are seeing this really big time in our world today. So let's choose not to join in on this. When we react like this and this kind of energy, we are actually holding the energy in place. We're doing the opposite of what we want. Because we're thinking about what we don't want. And every time we send out energy, be it positive, negative, loving, or angry, or whatever, it goes out and it always comes back to you amplified. Keep that in your mind. It might change the energy that you send out. It certainly does me. Okay, connecting with the heart. Allow your heart to be your guide, because your heart will guide you with wisdom, kindness, compassion, and it always knows the truth. Your mind does not, your brain does not always know the truth. And remember that the one who harms us does not need to be provoked further, and neither do we. We can prevent that escalation. And this is what will change the negative energy into compassionate energy. Come from your heart. And number 3, seeing obstacles as teachers. And Dennis Merritt Jones talked about that a lot in his book. Obstacles are our greatest teachers because they are opportunities for us to make changes that we want to make. We cannot continue to do everything the way we've always done it and expect change. But we have this habit of doing that. So we need to be aware of those things so we can change it. You know, without that inconsiderate neighbor, where would we find an opportunity to learn patience? My husband, Jerry, bless him, was my greatest teacher, patience and forgiveness. And I thank him every day for that. He gave me plenty of opportunities. Your soul is your teacher. And it is always showing you exactly where you are in the moment. Your soul is encouraging you not to speak and act in the same old neurotic ways. It's encouraging you not to repress or dissociate. And it is encouraging you not to sow the seeds of suffering. We are warriors in training, being taught to be able to respond to those challenges in a compassionate way that will bring solutions and resolutions for everyone. That is very important. And then the last one, regard all that occurs as a dream. I love this one. So think of life's circumstances as a dream, a movie in which you are temporarily the leading player. Don't make everything so important, in other words. You can ask yourself, how is it that these circumstances have the power to propel me like a ping pong ball from hope to fear, from happiness to misery? So contemplate these outer circumstances and your emotions and your huge sense of self as passing like a movie, she says, like a memory or like a dream. I think I talked to you previously about stepping outside of yourself and watching yourself. Do that. Step outside and look at it as a movie. It brings a different perspective to everything. Pema writes, when we find ourselves captured by aggression, we can remember this. There is no basis for striking out or for repressing. There is no basis for hatred or shame. We can at least begin to question our assumptions. Could it be that whether we are awake or asleep, we are simply moving from one dreamlike state to another? Think about that. Now, these instructions help us in our transition from living with all of those scary things to facing them, to learning about yourself because of them, and then having the ability to release them. To help us awaken to our compassion, the ability to rejoice, and the equanimity within us. And Pima offers the 3-step aspiration to help us do that. May I enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. May you enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. May all beings enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. So I invite you to say that with me. Let's do the first one. May I enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. May you enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. And may all beings enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. I want to close with a quote that is the author's unknown. When life breaks you, it is because you are ready to be put back together differently. Every piece of you that feels shattered is a piece that will find a new place, a new purpose, a new meaning. Trust that the cracks are where the light gets in. And sometimes in our brokenness we find our greatest wholeness. We find the courage to rebuild, to reimagine, to redefine what it means to be strong. You are not broken. You are breaking through. Let's take those words into meditation. So let's relax. Breathe. Love yourself. And I want you to think of something or someone that brings genuine feelings of love and appreciation, happiness, such that you can't help but smile. When you do that, you have come into the heart-brain coherence. And in this place of balance and wisdom, let us center our minds and hearts on truth. In truth, we can easily release guilt over past mistakes. We can easily release fear over current conditions. And we can easily release worry about the future. I invite you to willingly surrender to your soul teacher every area of your life where those thoughts dwell. Choose to see yourself as an enlightened being that you truly are. And find comfort in this truth. In this place of truth, let us proclaim our gratitude for life, for love, for abundance, for peace and joy, and for wholeness. And in this state of love and freedom, let us open our minds and our hearts to receive the bountiful blessings all around us now. And be grateful for those that are coming. They are always coming. So in this and every moment, let us center our minds and hearts in this truth. So let us just imagine that we are hugging ourselves, appreciating ourselves as divine enlightened beings who can and will and do move us closer to peace and joy every moment. That's who you are. So let's take a deep breath. Bring your attention back into this lovely space.
Now is the time for comments.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful. I think it was just what I needed to hear, speaking personally. Also, when you said during the beginning of the meditation, you said, think of someone or something that you love. I realized my mind couldn't stay put more than a fraction of a second, as so many things rushed into my head that I love and that have loved me back and that have filled the space where I thought my mind was cracked, or my resolve, or my hope.
Yeah.
And I remember something, I think you said it, allow the crumbling.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized the most joyous times I've had possibly in my life were when I did exactly that, allow the crumbling, and allowed the beauty and my friends and the people I love and people I didn't even know, people that just smiled at me in the supermarket, fill in those spots that were crumbling.
Yes.
And put it all back together better than ever. So
Yes.
thank you for this.
Thank you, Lori. That's exactly what's happening in our world. Things are crumbling. It's coming out as chaos and fear. And that's important because we need the crumbling in order to move to a higher level of consciousness. So that's why, I was talking about looking at things from a different way. Not that, everything's going to hell and, what's that called, handbasket? Oh, is that what's that? Yeah. No, it's changing and it needs to change because we're not happy right now, are we? Yeah, so change the way you look at things. The things you look at change. Thank you, Lori.
I'm reminded of the teaching that when there's chaos, it means change is afoot. And that is good. Instead of thinking whatever that quote is about hell. Donna, I want to thank you because every sentence was like a meditation for me today. And I needed it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, there was so much in that. But I'm thinking about obstacles as teachers and how, as we age, we think that we have more obstacles. and we start focusing on those, our body, our minds, etc. And I think that it's difficult for me to let that be a teacher because of our age, we're kind of set in our ways. And so to view that aging process as a teacher, that's something I've got to really give some thought to.
Yes, I understand. I think we all do. And that's because we expect things to be a certain way, the way the world has told us it's going to be. If you're this age, you're going to have no hearing, you're going to be, these definitions, these labels we've grown up with them. Actually, many lifetimes we've done that. And so when you find yourself thinking, okay, I'm this age, so therefore I should be, having aches and pains or whatever, change the way you look at that, okay? I'll be 76 in just a few days, and I am not going to let 7-6 tell me how I'm supposed to be. All right, I'm young, I'm vibrant, and I'm healthy, and that's that. So change those labels to what you want instead of what the world is telling you. And when you do that, miraculously, all those things that you're worrying about, maybe not all of them, but some of them, will dissolve. And eventually all of them will, because you're not giving them power anymore. So that's how it works. Don't let the world tell you how you should be. I don't. And I love it. It helps me through my life, and I enjoy my life because I'm not, defined in a box. I won't do that.
Well, for myself, I started, maybe last year thinking, I'm old. I'm getting old. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm getting old. And then one day it popped into my head. Change my attitude. So I changed my age 10 years younger. And boy, do I feel better.
It does work. It really does work. Now, I don't want you to be discouraged. Like, for instance, if you cannot walk and you're in a wheelchair, okay, don't look at that as negative. Look at that as just an opportunity to see life in a different way. In a different way. And there's all kinds of ways to seeing life. Again, don't let the world tell you how to do that. And you'll really be ahead. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your comments. We will.
There's another one over there, Larry. Yeah, Sharon.
Oh. Excuse me.
Well, I'm happy to report I'm 82, and I didn't expect this, but this is absolutely the best time of my life.
Yes. Woo-hoo!
Even though I forgot something major last week that I've just discovered today that I forgot something major for tomorrow, but still, nobody told me this would happen, but I am happy to report.
Yes. And don't look at it as negative. Look at it as an opportunity to remember. Yes.
Any more comments? Thank you for your comments. We will now have a wonderful hymn, When I Am Frightened.
Do we have a video for this one? Well, let's bring out the hymnals. Let's do it. Or solo. Yeah.
give it a try.
10 to 12. Let's stand.
And now for our closing words. We can let the circumstances of our lives harden us so that we become increasingly resentful and afraid, or we can let them soften us and make us kinder and more open to what scares us. We always have this choice. And now we will extinguish the chalice. This flame is to remind us love is the center. As we explore and rest, engage and heal, love remains the center. We extinguish this flame, but not its meaning and mission in our hearts. As we end this service today, let us be reminded by something Reverend Donna said. If we think happy, we will act happy. Please rise and join us in a circle of oneness as we sing, Go Lifted